besties. I'm back with Hello Kitty. I wanted to tell you about, so my mom told me a story yesterday, and I just sat there and I channeled through literal Jesus Christ, and I solved her issue for her in 0.5 seconds, okay? And it was just like, as she told me this story, I was like, God, this is such good fodder for YouTube, because it's just like, just a parallel to the world at large. So I'm going to tell you this story, and we're also going to pull some tarot cards from, we're going to use the Gentle Heart Tarot, which is like a new one for me, because we're just going to figure out, like, okay, how can we soften our hearts a little bit? Like, how can we connect? Like, how can we be more curious? This is my whole thing. You know, therapists have literally praised me for my natural curiosity. It will take you far. One time I got a fortune cookie, and it said, your natural curiosity will take you far. And that has only proven to be true. So if you are not curious, get curious, my friends. Okay, so in my neighborhood, it's like 2 houses down from us, we have this family that like just moved in. Like before them, there was like a different family that lived there, and it's really sad actually. Their dad passed away one night. He had a heart attack while they were all in bed like watching a movie, and like their kids were only like, I don't know, like 7 or 8. Like I used to take them to the store and buy them candy and stuff. I loved them. Anyways, so they moved back out east, yada yada, and this new family moved in, and I think, you know, it was like mom and dad and like 3 like middle school to like high school aged kids, whatever. And like Christmas 2023, I think they were going like back to Toronto or something for the holidays. So Sophia, that's like the mom's name, she asked my mom if she would be able to come over and like, you know, like feed the cat and like do the litter and whatever. My mom was like, yeah, of course, no problem, like we love animals. And so I went over like a few days with her, and they have this cute little, it's like one of those British short hairs. Her name is Hazel. Oh my god, love Hazel. And yeah, so my mom and I were over there like every day, like throughout the holidays, whatever, you know, like spending time with her, like feeding her, playing with her, whatever. And afterward, like even before they like left for their vacation or whatever, like Sophia like invited like my mom and I over and like made us food and tea and everything, you know. We like sat there and talked for a little bit. Like it was really nice. Like she did more than most people would do. And afterward, I think she got my mom a candle and all this stuff, like whatever, you know. It was like good vibes. And then a few months later, I think Sophia asked my mom if she would watch the cat again, and my mom said yeah, of course. And then Sophia like never got back to her, and then so like on the days when they were supposed to be gone, my mom was like, oh, like what's like the code for the house so I can go over and watch her? And like Sophia was like, oh, I got someone else to do it. And my mom, like, I don't know, like she took that personally but like in a bad way. And I guess like Sophia messaged her again recently and was like, hey, like would you mind watching Hazel? And so my mom, like when she was telling me about this, she said she's a Scorpio, Mercury, and Mars, mind you. Like she said very proudly, like oh, and I just ignored her because, you know, like last time she got someone else to do it, so she can do that this time. And I was like I was sitting there kind of like smirking to myself, because I'm like, do you not hear yourself right now? Like it sounds like it's giving very childish. But, you know, so what I said to her was like, well, why wouldn't you just like, you know, message Sophia and be like, hey, like, so last time you asked me to do this, like, you know, I'd be happy to do it, but last time you asked me, like, I moved things around in my schedule, and then you like never got back to me, so like can we just, you know, make sure like that doesn't happen again? Because like that's like literally that is the most mature adult way to handle a situation like that. Like that's just being like, hey, like I have basic self-respect. If you want to have a relationship with me, I require that you also respect me. Can you do that? If you can, I can help you. If you can't, tough titties, you know what I mean? Like we keep moving. And my mom like looked at me like, whoa, like I hadn't seen it that way. And I'm like, yeah, like it could all be so simple, but you'd rather make it hard. And that is like parallels to like the world at large right now. Like people think that like it is a very victim mentality. It's like, oh my god, like the whole world is against me, or like this one person was kind of mean to me one time, so like they must hate me and my life sucks and blah blah blah. And like, you know, it's like so I can't ever like no, all you have to do is set boundaries. Like if you are a sensitive person, you have to acknowledge your sensitivity and set boundaries accordingly. And I think like in an old earth, this was definitely harder. Like when I was younger, like no one really, like people would be like, oh, you're so sensitive, and like they would say that to me like it was a bad thing, and no one was really like willing to like accommodate my sensitiveness. But now like I feel like it's become, you know, a more commonplace thing that people are actually like, oh, we're humans and we feel things and we have to like consider that, you know. Like, oh, the Chariot, okay, gorgeous. So yeah, think about it. Like if you feel stuck, I mean Mars has been in retrograde for like the last few months, but when it goes direct on February 23rd, I think that is going to bring in action, right? And so the Fool, this is someone who is curious. So these two cards came out together. So I'm going to go ahead and say that when Mars goes direct, particularly, your natural curiosity will take you far. You like, so if my mom again would have just messaged Sophia and been like, hey, like, again, like, so happy to watch Hazel, love that kitty so much, but like, can we figure out, you know, like what happened last time, or how can we make sure that doesn't happen again, you know? And like, that doesn't make you a bad person. And if the other person makes you out to be a bad person for expressing yourself that way, which to be fair, my grandma, like my mom's mom, is that kind of person, so that's probably why my mom is kind of like, whoa, I didn't know I could do that. Like, girl, yeah, you can. I think, like, her default is, like, when she's angry is screaming and yelling. Because, again, Scorpio Mercury, Scorpio Mars. I'm a Scorpio Mars, too, but I have that Aquarius Mercury, so, like, I just... a higher perspective. Like, I'm tapped into something very divine. The Three of Swords. So this is, like, suffering. Look. Does that look like a pleasant place to be? Nar. So, how do we get out of our Three of Swords? Again, natural curiosity, but... King of Diamonds. This is like the King of Pentacles, right? So it's like knowing that you are abundant. So I've been reading Think and Grow Rich, and I just finished a chapter about like auto-suggestion, and it just kind of talks about, you know, like the power of like the things that are being like planted in your mind. So like if the people surrounding you are like planting bad seeds in your mind, like, dude, my parents are bad for this sometimes. Like for a few months there, my dad was just like going at my appearance, like any way he could insult me, he was just going at it. And that was like the norm in his household. But like literally I could just be standing there like in a pair of pajama pants and he would just start laughing at me, and I'd be like what's so funny? And he'd be like, your legs look like tree trunks. I like literally, I'm like, why do you? And like that was just like the norm throughout my whole entire life. Like this man would just always have something to say about like my physical being, and it was just like unless I looked like a lady to him, never enough. And I'm just like, I can't live like that, you know what I mean? So I don't even know why I was telling you that story, but anyways, like, so you have to know that like you are never in lack. And auto-suggestion, right? So then my dad was saying all those things to me, and I was feeling really shitty about myself for a while there, and I'm like, this is not me. This is not me. This is what you were putting on me because you don't feel good about yourself, so you're cracking down on me. You're trying to make me feel bad about myself, because generally speaking, like, I'm happy, I'm content, I love myself. And so ever since, you know, I really had to talk to him about that. I'm like, look, the way, like, the things that you're saying to me, like, they don't add value. You know, like, why can't you just be a little bit kinder? And I think, like, he has made some progress in that area. Like, he's going through a lot of really hard things in his life right now. So it's like, I do think that because he refuses to go to therapy, his emotions become like mine and my mom's burden to bear. But then it's just like me, again, being a sensitive person and having to set boundaries and being like, okay, I can help you with what you were willing to ask me, like, for help with, or like if I see you struggling, obviously I'm gonna help you, but like you can only, it's not to your benefit to like overextend yourself to like serve people. Like, you need to serve from a full cup. And so yeah, like I've had to just like turn back to me and be like, okay, like how can I make sure I'm on purpose? Oh, the Lovers. Yes, bitch. Yes. And see, I in my Pisces season video, I was talking about intentionally intending for 30 days. That was one of the affirmation cards that came out. And so I actually did sit down like with my notebook, and I made a list of things that I can do like for the next 30 days that will like bring me closer to, like, basically just like if I were to complete these tasks, like, you know, I would be like just a better person. And they're just like really simple things, like decluttering this area of the house, like making this doctor's appointment, like turning off or closing this bank account, moving, you know, just like little fucking things like that, right? But I have done this before, and like when I actually do take like radical inspired action like that, I do kind of get like leaps and bounds ahead of the game. So this one came out, I was pulling readings earlier too, and this one came out, and this one looks like my man kind of. So this is just like finding balance, right? So the Lovers is like finding balance between doing like those mundane tasks or whatever, like I was talking about, but then still seeing love in your day-to-day, right? Because like when I am married and have kids one day, like my life is just gonna be like those mundane everyday things, and I'll still have to see the beauty in that and the love in that. Oh, look at the Two of Cups. I was talking about pouring from a full cup. Crazy how that happens. The Ten of Diamonds. This is the Ten of Pentacles. But notice how there's just a man and dogs on this card. There's no woman. Like, you need, in a new earth, you need a woman. Not to say that, you know, like the go LGBTQ, but I'm just saying, like, people are meant to be in divine partnerships. People are meant to be in union. Like, you know, just like, you're supposed to find your life partner. Like, real lovers, it's our time to shine, okay? Where are my real lovers at? Okay, this is the real life tarot deck. This is like a fidget spinner. So maybe what's keeping you from moving forward is, you know, you're just like, you're fidgeting, you're dilly-dallying, you're lollygagging. Girl, I know I'm guilty of that. Like, the Pisces season message I brought through was like, be less human, be more divine. So fidgeting is a very good example of being human, you know? So it's like, I just need to like channel that. Oh, here's an energy 25-hour power. So curiosity does kind of give you that like natural boost, you know, like if you're really curious about something, like especially if you have like an air sign, like Sun or Mercury, like you're probably just like a very naturally curious person. Like if you like can get yourself excited and curious about things, then it's like you can really get like invested in them and make them exciting. And that is how you start to see love in the mundane, like I was talking about. So yeah, put your energy towards things that like spark that childlike sense of wonder deep within you. That is how you soften your heart too. Like, pretend we're all just kids playing on the playground together. That's really how I approach life, because there is a quote from Plato that I like, that's like, you can learn more about a person in 1 hour of play than you can in like, I always use this quote and I never actually know what it is, but it's just, play teaches you a lot about people. The stand up. But notice how this person, like, the person who activated me on my twin flame journey, this was his whole sob story, is like, oh, like, my life is like a sad clown, like I had all this potential and I never lived up to it, and blah 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 and whatever, you know. And it's just like, no one in a new earth, no one has time for like sob stories. Like, I just, like, we don't, you know. It's like, so me, like, I've been through a lot of hard things, but like I've had to like, I don't want to just like come from that victim lens and share my story. Like, I'm so glad that now I've like evolved into this like woman, and I'm like, wow, like I've really turned into something. And so now it's like I have this empowering story to tell that can inspire other people. The landlord. Why did I say it? I went and saw a comedy show a few months ago with my mom, and there was like, you know, there's 4 different comedians and only one of them was kind of funny, and there was one of he kept saying landlord like that. Anyways, so the landlord knows he's fruitful, right? Like, the landlord is kind of a little bit relentless. Like, if you think about it, like, he doesn't really give a fuck. Like, I mean, some do, but like most of them, like, you're just like a tenant living in their little box to them, right? So like, you have to remember that like people that are coming, like, your mind, you are the landlord of your mind, okay? So make it fruitful, make it beautiful, make it abundant, make it a space that is worth like renting out, make it a space that is worth investing in, a space that you are proud to show off. You are the landlord of your mind. That's a good one. What are this? The bullshit artist. Okay, so that's funny that this comes out with the lovers. So like, don't let yourself be love bombed. I have been love bombed before. And also, don't let the idea of love, like, just because it's like it's not showing up in your life like the way that you think that it should, don't allow that to throw you off your game, basically. Like, hold the vision. And I am the perfect example of this, okay? Because when the first time love was like really ripped away from me, like, I became such a victim. Oh my god, I was like, I literally like wilted as a human being. Like, it was just like so sad and devastating, like, oh my god, just terrible. And now it's like, I don't let myself get in that state of like disempowerment over other people, you know what I mean? Like, I know that, again, love never leaves me. And that is how we soften our heart, because we know that there's always enough. There's always enough to go around. And like, as long as we just focus on like doing the work, then the deleter. Okay, so this is kind of like staying balanced, right? So like, maybe like deleting things from your life that are throwing you off balance. Duh. Pretty simple philosophy. Okay, let's cut this. The night owl. So maybe like get more rest, you know, like if you find yourself like staying up late at night, like ruminating over like the past and like woulda, coulda, shoulda, whatever the fuck, like, no, like, get your ass at home, get you a cozy little pillow and a weighted blanket, wash your face, spray some fucking linen mist on your bed. Like, make your room a sanctuary. Make it a place where you are comfortable, where you get good rest. Like, yeah, prioritize that. Calm. So, I mean, some people need to pop a little pill to stay calm. I do not condone that. I condone breath work. Breath work is the greatest tool, and it is absolutely free. All you have to do is learn how to breathe. Let's do a deep breath right now. You go. And it's just in for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold for 4. And whenever you need to ground yourself, if you are feeling stressed out, you have every single right to take a breath. In any moment, when you need a minute, you take a breath, and it will calm you right down faster than anything. Okay? And it's free. Again, free. It is God's gift to you, your breath. And you only have each one as the moment comes. So be here now. Breathe. Be present. Be receptive. Keep that heart chakra open. Okay? Keep loving. We love you.